All right. Hey, y'all. It is Work It Wednesday. It is the 6th of July. Oh my gosh, this month is already going fast. We're almost in our first week. So, one thing I want to discuss tonight is how do you look at your business? We have a transition this month. Everything is either 10% off or 20% off. We're in the middle right now of a flash sale. But how do we look at our business? How do we run our business? I found an analogy earlier today that just kind of fits to what a lot of people do. A lot of people like working in the yard. And so one thing to look at our business, maybe I should tell you how I came about this. After I got back from SFR, my husband was like, I am ready to work this business with you. I'm getting tired of my job. I'm really wanting, he goes, I can see where the success is with Scentsy and I want to do all the things. Well, but then I look at it and I'm like, well, what things do you want to do? And he's like, I don't know. So how do you ask somebody what things they want to do when they don't know all the things that you do? That sounded bad. The things that you do also. So, I started, I've been looking and kind of struggling of like, well, how do I have him do certain things? And I realized whenever he started talking about the lawn, that our business is like a lawn. It is like a field of dirt. So you just have the dirt, you've inherited this business or you've signed up or however you want to look at it, you have this dirt. Now, what do you want to do with it? So your grass is going to be your customers. So how do you get customers? How do you get grass? So you have to look at it that you have to start planting seeds for the different customers. Now, some people have a huge lot. We're talking like 5-10 acres, right? Some people may only have the 3x2 little square of area because they're in an apartment. And that's how you can look at different size businesses. Some people are wanting to have multiple tons of customers. Other people are, maybe they feel like they're only in this small little square. When you start your business and when you start looking at Scentsy, planting those seeds, the stuff does not grow overnight. Now, you can look at different aspects of your business. And that's kind of like your decoration or your flowers or maybe your garden, maybe the flower garden that's off to the side. It's not your whole yard. So the flower garden could be looking at the different things, the extras that you do for your customers. They're not required. They're not always needed. They're very pretty. They're very, they're extra. They're just the extra things that you put towards your business. So what can we do to grow our business? Thank you so much, baby. The things that we can do. So first we need to get with customers. Like we have to find our customers. We have to find our people. And it's just like what kind of grass are you trying to grow? What type of people? Now, do you want people that have the same outlook as you? Do you just want anybody? Do you want people that are going to talk bad about what you're doing or don't believe in you? So you need to think of what type of customers do you have? I can tell you this, I have better customers than I do friends. I have customers that have become friends and almost like family. But there are some family and there's some friends that still don't support me. They keep waiting for me to get the real job, the one that makes all the money. And I have to stop and realize that I don't need those weeds in my lot. Okay. So when you first get started, everybody's like, I don't know anybody. And you're right. But you have to start doing something for people to start to notice you. So everybody who sells Scentsy sells the same things. What I sell is what Alicia can sell and what Mary Alice can sell. The only difference is that my people love me. They like what I do for them. Now, if I went to Alicia's page and I try to poach some people, her people may not like me. Like she's got the older ladies that come and do the bar swap, and I don't want those ladies over in my house touching my stuff. I'm just kidding. But it's not for them, it's a local thing. Alicia's not that far from them. I'm down in Kennedale. So I'm a good probably hour drive. So they're not going to want to drive down here. But yet I have customers that are on the other side. They're in Laredo, Texas. And then I have some people that are over in Missouri. I have some people that are out in California. I mean, they could pick anybody. They could pick a local person, but they picked me, either because they knew me or they were referred to me from somebody else. Sorry, I still have a really scratchy throat and I've been coughing, so I got to make sure I keep hydrated. But you have to look at what do you want your grass to do? What do you want your lawn to do? Now, for somebody who is not able to work on a 5-acre lot every single day, it's probably best for you to find a smaller lot. So what that means is, like, you don't have to have 1,000 customers. You don't have to have 500 customers. You have to start with a smaller group because you need to cultivate and you need to get that grown. When you're first starting out and you only have those 5 or 6 people that maybe have bought or maybe just got into your VIP group, maybe they don't even know that they're there. And that kind of starts out and you're like, they're not doing anything. They're not doing anything. They're not commenting. They're not reacting. They're not responding. Guys, everybody's watching. Everybody's always watching. So make sure that you have intention. With me working a full-time job and Blake working a full-time job, we both, he works right now, it's like 7 to 3:30. I work basically about 7 to 3:30. Well, 3:30 to 4. And then it's Scentsy time. Now, I still do some of my texting and some other things during my breaks and lunches. But I've been trying to be intentional because I feel like there's so much more I could do, but do I have time? It's great to find the new ideas and there's great to get the fire of something brand new and shiny, but is it going to work for my business? I've tried different things. The bundles, the mystery bundles, like the Sassy Cassie bags, they did not go over well. They didn't last more than the first month. I didn't get a lot of response. My customers were just kind of like, that's cute. And that was it. So I kind of backed off on that. But Mary Alice has been continually doing it because her people love the mystery bags. Her people, like, she's gotten to the point where I believe she's on a second set of 10. So she's got like 20 different customers that do her mystery bags. And that may not be the same in a year. She may only be at the 20, she may be at 15, or she could be at 200. You cultivate a environment for things to grow. So it goes the same for your lawn as your business. Now, you always want to make sure of who is helping you with your business. And that means either other Scentsy people, your upline, your downline, your sidelines. You need to make sure that the people that are there to help you are there to help you and not hinder you. There's going to always be people that maybe don't have the best intentions for you. And you'll learn as you grow older. Like, I'm 43 years old. I'm still finding people that I think are friends that are not really friends. And especially the ones that are like, oh yeah, I'm going to help you. I got customers, or I got these people and they're going to buy from you. And I was like, okay, that's awesome. Can you give me their number? Oh, no, I'll just let you know. I'll let you know. And then I find out they're buying from somebody else because she had a better deal. And I don't really want the customers that are only coming to me because it's a deal. Like, ooh, you have a special, I'm coming to you this month. And then, oh, I'm going to go over here because they have a special this month. I try to make sure that my customers that have been with me consistently, so that's like the grass that's been there, like the runners, like that's where the main source of the grass is coming from. And those are the runners because it starts to spread out and you start to water it. Those are the people that you want to keep around. And how do you do that? Every customer is different. Some of them want the little freebies. Some of them just like getting a thank you or some confetti. Sometimes it's just saying, hey, thank you so much. I happen to have XYZ on hand. And you can sell it to them, or maybe you got it for free and say, I just want to send you this little thank you package. It doesn't have to be a lot. It could literally be a fragrance mist. It could literally be anything. I'm trying to think of like a mini pod. So, I'm sorry, the mini fan and pod. It could be something very, very small. Now, for me, unless it's licensed, I got it for free or half price. Guys, I don't spend any of my family money on Scentsy. I try to keep, now I do spend about 15% of my paycheck back going into different business products, like product sheets. I don't do catalogs. I'm not buying, I was like, I am not buying catalogs. And then a set of catalogs came in and I was like, why? And I forgot. I earned them. I earned them for free. And I have not bought catalogs. I went back through to look. I have not bought any catalogs, but I've gotten them for free with the different incentives. So I have like the 10 bars from this releasing out. So I have those. I have the stickers already. All that stuff is done. Did you know I forgot all about it? And it was in a box that was sitting here when I got back from SFR, and I went ahead and ordered on the 1st because, I was sick. Guys, when you are sick, don't be going and buying stuff. Oh, I was so upset with myself, but it happens. And that means I just have extras. So I do have an extra set of testers that I'm going to give out tonight, which it kind of looks like, because I know Mary Alice already got her testers. So it looks like, because Alicia showed up, Alicia might be getting a set of testers tonight. Yes. So Alicia, I will be sending over because I have 2 sets, because I got some for free at SFR and those were given to me. And then I got another set of the ones I've earned. So those were free also. So I'm going to try and figure out how I'm going to get some ice packs done, and I'm going to get those mailed out to you. But I wanted to give them away free tonight for who showed up, because showing up to your business, every single training that you can get to is so important. And the reason why is it teaches you consistency with just learning. It's not about, when you show up, you go up, and it's so true. Back to the lawn. So as you look at, the customers are the grass. So you sit there and you fertilize it. You make sure you pull out the bad weeds. If you have anybody in your VIP group that is constantly negative, or constantly like, that's stupid, or I don't want that, or that's horrible, or they're like, Scentsy sucks, kick them out of your group. Be done with the negativity, or the negative Nancy. The negativity is not needed. If they don't want to be there, they don't need to be there. I don't care if it's your mother, if it's your sister, your brother, your kids, I don't care. Get them out of the VIP group, because negativity will breed more negativity. If you are needing a cheerleader, or you're needing someone to respond and react to pages or posts that you put, let me know. I'm in a lot of groups, guys. I started counting the other day. I stopped at over 100. I'm in over 100 different Scentsy groups. I've taken myself out of almost every other group, just because the fact is that there's so many that I'm in. I'm in some of my teamies. I'm in Alicia's. I'm still in Lisa's. There's a lot of different people's groups that I'm in. And sometimes I forget. I go through and I don't comment. So if you're needing me to comment on something, just send me a message and be like, hey, I need you to comment on this post. I need to get it back to the top. I'm like, ooh, got you. But as your business grows, and as your grass gets thicker, and as it gets cultivated through, that's when you can start adding all of the pretty fluff. That's where you can start adding in different systems throughout your business to either, I don't know, to like praise your group, or you can have top contributors. Guys, I've been in for 2 years, so I do top contributors for my VIP group. Anybody who's not a Scentsy consultant is eligible to be in the top 3 spots. If I happen to have a Scentsy consultant in the top 3, then I skip down to the next one, and I flat out tell people, hey, here's the top 4, because one of them is part of my team, and they don't get to earn because they're not a customer of mine. My teamies don't buy from me, and you should not have any teamies buy from you, or you should not be buying from your upline. Now, it's different if you're doing a trade, or something like you're looking for something for your customer, but you don't need to be going to anybody's website and ordering off of their website if it's not for you. Um, what else? But finding the small things. I have completely scaled back in the last 6 months. So I started this job in January, and I took my focus away from 100% Scentsy all the time. So I've had to be very intentional. I had to make sure that my time was spent wisely. Now, when I message my customers, I'm no longer messaging. It's not taking me 2-3 days to message 200-300 people. I'm not going through, I don't have the 980 something people in my VIP group that literally would take me days and days on end. I have about 200, just under 200 people in my VIP group, because these are the people that have purchased from me. I do send out messages, but I start with just 5. I just start with 5. Every day I need to contact 5 different people. I'm also been very consistent since January that I've gotten 1 new teamie every single month. That means a new person signing up with Scentsy. Now, I did get the reinstatement this month, but that means I still need my 1 new teamie. I'm trying to be very consistent. I wanted 2 a month, but that hasn't happened. But I have been consistent with 1 because I do talk all the time about like joining all the time. My customers know that if I send them a message and they ask and they're like, oh, I don't have the money. I'm like, why don't you look, I have a free kit. It's 0 out of pocket for you. You could get started and you can start earning your own income. That way, the extra money. But every single customer, when we did the go for no's, I started with the hardest question. What was the hardest question? Is join my team. Because like I normally could get people to buy, but I couldn't get people to join my team. So it changed my mindset of why am I not offering this, just like a waitress would offer would dessert or offer coffee after dessert, or offer like, you know, what can I get you guys to drink today? Would you like XYZ? Offering the availability of what's available. Like, guys, if you don't have a kit, open a party, have it linked. Once it hits 500, it's free shipping, and the kit is free. It's $0. Do you want all the things? Do you want to have all the, like, look, guys, I started off this business doing the wrong thing. I wanted the stuff. I did, and I use it, but I don't need the stuff. I don't want extra things in my house. I'm trying to sell them and get rid of them and get them to my customers. I wish I had started in the beginning giving away the opportunity, giving away and blessing somebody. So when you look at your lawn and your grass is starting to get really, really thick, you need gardeners. You need people to help you along the journey. So that way, when you do have a 5-acre lot, you are doing part of it. Your team is doing part of it. You have different areas that you're taking care of. Everybody is helping with trainings. Everybody is helping with learning and bringing to the table different aspects of the Scentsy business. I am really, really good at PRV, but I'm not necessarily really good at Facebook parties or really good at doing something else. I know there's other things that I'm really bad at, guys. Basically it's the parties. It's the Facebook parties. I do get new customers all the time because if it's not my husband, it's somebody else adding someone to this group. I always try to message them. I try to keep in contact with them. But that's when you need to start looking at your customer base and getting teamies and building a team. Now, if you truly, truly, truly do not want a team, you do not want to be a part of a team, and you don't want to worry about being their mentor, you can call Scentsy, or you can email them, or you can do a chat with Scentsy and tell them that you want a non-leadership role. What does that do? It makes your website that they can't join. There is not a join tab up there. There's no way for them to join your team. And that way you can just be you and just do all the things and have all the fun and just worry about PRV. You don't ever have to worry about building a team. You don't have to worry about someone signing up in the middle of the night, which I absolutely love because I'm like, woo, who's that? And I'm like, I don't know who that is. So You can decide how you want to run your business, how you want to cultivate your lawn. You can decide, maybe I need to put a tree there. Now, I really haven't figured out, I don't know why I said tree, because I don't have an analogy for the tree, but maybe the tree is your team weekly meeting. Maybe that's the tree that you put out there, and you have to cultivate that weekly meeting. You have to make sure that, you know, the little trees are just itty bitty and they got to be held up by the stakes so that way it doesn't blow over. And if you don't consistently watch it, then it's nothing, it dies. I have not missed a single Work It Wednesday. One night I did move it one night, but I have dedicated myself to Work It Wednesdays. I even started earlier so people could jump on in case they had questions. And then I start at 8 o'clock and I end at 9. At 9 o'clock, I normally take it off the 5150 and we sit here on the Zoom and we chat and we talk. And it's not always about Scentsy. Sometimes it's just about life. Like, how is things going? And what that does is it builds relationships with other people that have the similar focus of what you have. We all have a goal, and it may be all a little bit different, but in the end, it's going to be very similar. We love Scentsy in some way, fashion, or form. We either love helping people or love a paycheck, or we're working from home so we can be with our kids, or maybe we just don't like to be out in this stupid world out there. And I don't like to drive. Like, I really hate the drive. And right now, I'm so grateful and blessed that I can work from home because I don't have to worry about the gas. Guys, the gas money is crazy. So tonight, that was basically what I wanted to go over. Is I wanted to talk about how your business, what do you want from your business? How do you want to cultivate your grass, which is your customers? How do you want, like, how big of an area do you want? And I'm not talking about territories on who you sell to. We do not have territories. We do not have areas that are only yours. You have the World Wide Web. You have whoever you can talk to at any point in time. But you do need to think about what you want to do with your business and how do you want your business to flow. Now, again, all the extra things, the goodie bags, the monthly bags, the giveaways, the different things that I have done in my business works for my customers. And if you're wanting to get into that and do those extra things, that's fine. But don't overextend yourself and don't try to bite off more than you can chew. You can really and truly only take on as much as you can take on. And you also have to remember that you have to be consistent with it. If I'm working on 9 different things every single day, am I going to be able to do those 9 different things every single day for 365 days? I can tell you right now, no, because I get bored and I can't do it. Now, I try to devote Wednesday nights is for my team nights. Tuesday nights are sometimes training for myself, and Thursday nights are definitely training for myself. Other than that, I make sure that I do my posts every single day. For me, that's watering my grass. My posts all day long is feeding my customers the different things I can find, the real life images of items that they may like. If I see that they starting to like more of the warmers, I put more warmers up there. If I see that they're tending to go more towards the cleaning, because my customers cycle through of who pays attention to what's going on. My customers change almost about every 3 months. I can tell you, everything in my group changes every 3 months. Don't know why. It's just the natural progression of people who are very, very, if they're very, very excited in my group and they help all the time, I end up having them sign up. So I just saw over in the 5150 Theater's one of those. Her daughter signed up. And she was one of the top people in my VIP group. And she was always in the top 3 contributors. And I had talked to her, and they were like, we want to do this. We want to do this. And they finally jumped and they did it. And my group has changed because she's not in there every single day commenting on every single post. So my group right now is in that weird, basically is like, we're trying to figure out who is going to be top dog in there again. And your business should be changing like that every single month, every time that you change something else, try to go for it for 6 months. Try to go for it for at least a year before you change it. Make sure that it wasn't a fluke that it was great or a fluke that it went bad. I mean, I will go back to doing the Sassy Cassie bags. I will try it again. And we're about to get into the biggest part of our season. Guys, August 1st is starting this whole new, it's all the fall and winter. Now, some people are still going to be stuck in the summer and spring, and these are the people you need to be talking to right now. So for the rest of this month, you need to be letting everybody know about Scentsy Club. You need to be letting them know what scents are leaving and will not be coming back at all. Like, they're not coming back. You need to make sure that you are posting that these are leaving, and Scentsy Club is how they can continue getting these different scents. They need to be stocking up. It's 10% off or 20% off, guys. If it's 20% off, it is leaving forever. Like, it's being discontinued forever. If it's only 10% off, that means it's leaving for the season. So you need to make sure that you are letting your customers know, because come August 1st, if you have not told your customers about what is leaving and what is going to be gone and never coming back, they're going to be upset because they lost out on a chance. Now, if you told them 3 or 4 times and they forgot, then that's totally on them. Okay. If they didn't put the stuff in Scentsy Club and they didn't go ahead and try to make sure that they have all the extra bars or whatever, that is on them. That's not on you. But if you don't tell them, then you're not doing the best thing for your customer. And that should be the ultimate bottom line, is what is best for your customers and then what is best for your business. I think that's pretty much all I have for tonight. I know it's only 8:30, but I want to go ahead and open it up for anybody either on the 5150 who's watching the streaming or here, because I have Alicia and Mary Alice here. Of just like, what are the different things that you want to work on in your business this month? Like, what is your strategy if you have one? If you don't, what are the things that you are working on either on a daily basis or a weekly basis? Because we have almost the first week done. Tomorrow's going to be, July 7th. So that means 1 week of the month of transition is gone. Now, I know Mary Alice is cooking food and I have my food sitting here getting cold. But Alicia, what are you going to work on this month, or what are you trying to cultivate in your group?
This month I was daring to be bold. And when I say that, I mean I wanted to try something completely new and
let's see how it works.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I started with reaching out to everyone in my VIP, everyone, and asking them if they wanted to start a club. I got 1 club.
Awesome.
Out of almost 200 people, which half of those didn't even respond, but maybe 20 responded, maybe 20.
Okay.
But I got 1 new club.
Okay.
And if you've been in the 5150 group, I have been posting a lot of like flyer type things. Excuse me, most of y'all know that I'm terrified of technology and touching my buttons. But that was one thing that I started this month. I was like, I'm going to make something. I'm going to learn how to do this and I'm going to share something. And I did it.
She's been doing awesome. She's been doing awesome. I've seen her stuff when she posted on there, and you're doing great, Alicia.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, so you're posting stuff that you made. Oh my goodness. Okay, I have to go back over there and check it again. I knew that there was flyers that you were putting up in there. I didn't realize that you had made them. I'm very excited now.
Some of them I have made.
Okay.
And
now, are you going to get bold enough to put your picture on some? Whoa.
If I can figure it out.
Okay. Well, are you using Canva?
No, I'm not.
Okay, what are you using? Picard?
I,
Are you
I've
using
just
Picard?
I've just been using the collage app.
Okay, well, I've used collage, so you can take a picture of you and add it into the pictures before they do the collage, just like any of the other pictures you add.
Okay, I'll try that.
Okay. What's the worst that's
So,
gonna happen?
Alicia, if I can throw my mug on mine, you can put yours on yours.
Mary Alice, you stop it. Everybody loved Mary Alice's hair at SFR. Every time we went somewhere and she hung out with us, somebody came up and said, "Oh my God, I love your hair." Plus, she was wearing a really cool hat. And then she had two different amazing hats. She had a purple cowboy hat and this really cool light up hat. It was awesome. Like, it was so awesome.
okay, so we have Sandra has joined us, Jessica and Tanya has joined us.
Yay! Woo woo! All right. Let's see. Do we have yes. So guys, on the Zoom at 8 o'clock, I lock it down so that way we don't have people running late, hopping in and out on the Zoom. We do stream the Zoom over to 5150, and this allows you to watch it and answer questions or ask questions as we're doing it. But I'm very squirrely. That's why I opened the Zoom up at 7:15, and that means it gives you 45 minutes to get to the Zoom. So that's why I lock it. And then we stop streaming at 9 o'clock, and then we continue on the Zoom, which I can open it up after 9. If y'all want to come over and talk and chat. Let's see. But hey, Jessica. Yes, we have Jessica and Sandra. So those are my girls. And now is Tanya's yours?
Yes, Tanya's mine.
All right. So okay, Mary Alice. So what do you do, or what are you planning on doing this month for transition? Like, what's your goal? What's your big plan?
My big plan. So I really don't have a plan because I just kind of go off the cuff is the way I've been doing things, and it seems to work good for me. If I think too hard on things, I overstress on it. So I just kind of roll with the flow and see what.
No.
Yes.
Oh, what?
So what I'm doing right now is, because we're doing that challenge where we go live every month, and you've been giving us things to, topics to talk about and everything. I've been mostly focusing on the flash sale that we have going on right now for the 24 hours. And then after the flash sale, I'll continue focusing on, because when I talk about the flash sale, I also talk about the Scentsy Club, and I also talk about joining. I kind of throw all of that in there with it. So it seems that every live that I've been going on, I bring up the sales, the Scentsy Club, and joining. I try to always throw those 3 things in there. My thing is, I'm trying to increase, of course, my customer base, which for me is kind of hard since I really don't leave out of the house a lot or get out amongst a lot of people. I will say that if I do get out at the grocery store or washing the laundry place, everybody I come in contact with has my information. I will talk to everybody and drop them my information.
Now,
So,
but we are going to work on getting their information, right?
yes, that was something I was about to say. So
Okay.
I actually implemented that yesterday. Yes. So yesterday I was at the grocery store and I was in line. And of course I had my trusty little bag that seems to get everybody's attention. And they asked me about Scentsy in the bag. And so I told them and everything. And so I gave her all my information. And then right after I handed her everything, I told her, I said, by the way, would you mind if I would get your information also, so that I can get in touch with you in a few days and see if you have any questions on anything. Or we also have some great sales that are going to be going on this month, and I want to make sure to include you in everything. So I made it a point to ask for their information back and not just keep handing my stuff out like I've been doing. And so that's one of the big changes that I'm going to try and do, because I have spent this last year putting my name all out there, but not really getting the names back from them. The only time I would get the names back from them was when I would do events and I would do the drawing box, and I would always get all their information. And then at the bottom of the drawing, the form that they fill out, of course, I have, would you be interested in doing a party, being a consultant? I forget. Oh, here, I've got one right here. I'm interested in hosting a party, earning free and half price items, having a text or Facebook party, and info on becoming a consultant. And then they can check the bottom. I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Ooh,
So
Summer Rodriguez. Okay, I got her number. I gotcha. I gotcha.
all right now.
Okay, I'm just kidding.
She's actually interested in becoming a consultant, and so I have been talking with her, and she's someone I have been talking to, and I've actually been working on her since I'm going to say April of last year, so for almost a year. But
April of last year. Can you start in May?
In April. I didn't start until May, so it was it was the first event that I did, which was in. Okay, so it'd have been October, right?
Your first event.
Was it September?
No, I think it was like August. It was August or September. I think it was August. It was at because it was still hot.
Yeah.
Remember, because you were worried about trying to get your wax bars not to melt.
Yeah. So the very first event that I did is when I got her information. And so I've been working on her regularly. Every month I get in touch with her, and she does buy from me. But every month I keep trying to talk her, or reassuring her and answering all her questions on what it consists to be a consultant. And something I try to stress, or that I've focused on stressing, is that everybody's different. That just because I do this type where I post every hour, almost on the hour, on my VIP, where I do the events, where I do this or that, everybody doesn't do that. Everybody's business is different. So I don't want them to think that because they see me doing these things and they think it might be overwhelming for them to do that, their business does not have to be that way. And that's something I've really had to stress to people, because they're constantly telling me, well, Mary, I couldn't do what you do. Well, I'm not asking you to do what I do.
Well, your situation is different. You work you're working from home because you're taking care of your mom. So your situation is totally different than what my situation is and Alicia's situation, because Alicia's got the kids. I have the job. I'm working from home, but yes, my daughter is 16. So it's like mine ain't running around crazy, but I don't know, 16-year-old and your mother, who knows? They're probably trying to get into the same type of things. All they do is yell for me from the other room.
So my biggest focus right now is increasing my customer base and trying to find ways to increase my customer base, that I don't have to completely rely on my events. That I can, there's got to be another way besides, parties, of course, is the best way. But if I can't get out there to do these parties, or I can't always get out there to do them, I can do them on Facebook and I can do them these other ways. But as far as getting out of the house and going to do things, I can try and work that in on my schedule, but it's a little harder for me.
So one suggestion on that: find your in your top 10 contributors for your VIP group, or your top 3 customers, like the ones who buy from you all the time. They're consistently buying. Ask them to either invite or refer you to 5 people. And the reason why you do the number 5 is because they'll do about half.
Right.
So if you ask for 2, they may only do 1, or they may not do any. If you ask for 3, you're looking at maybe 1. But if you ask for 5, you should be able to get 2 or 3 people from each one of those. Because some of them are going to say no. And as for the referrals, and either you can do it multiple ways. So when we offer suggestions, it doesn't mean you do it this way only. You guys, we still have to go and think outside the box, but you can either say, let's get on a 3-way message. So you can introduce me. Would you like to invite them to my VIP group? Will you ask them if I can message them? So that way you get to build a relationship with them some way, shape, or form. Now, when it's a referral, it's just like when we say, oh, people post all the time. I'm looking for a pediatrician. Who's the best in the area? And people start sending out suggestions. Doesn't mean that they go to every single doctor. They kind of look through and figure out who's close, whatever. It's the same thing. Or you can even take it a step further and ask them to post. I remember I've asked Mary Alice whenever she was not a teamie, she was just in my VIP group, about posting a little blurb with my picture about that I sell Scentsy. That, you know, and I was just kind of like, so one of them said, like, my friend sells Scentsy. I think I had a picture and it just had, you know, my little on there, and it says Scentsy independent Scentsy consultant. And she posted on there and she tagged me and she was like, you know, hey guys, I don't know if you know, but Cassie is my Scentsy consultant and she's amazing and blah, 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 blah. Like, she did this whole thing and then that was it. So that's another way. So either ask them to refer, ask them to post on your page, and there's going to be different which each person you talk to. You're not going to be able to do a blanketed copy and paste text, guys. That is one thing I've learned in the last 2 years, is that every single one of your customers, you will respond to differently. My biggest thing when I started was, what do I say? I want to know exactly what to say. What is the perfect wording for this? It doesn't exist, guys. It doesn't exist. If I gave you the wording of how it helped me get 5 out of 10 people, you could probably try it and you get 0 out of 0. Someone else could try it and they get 10 out of 10. It's just all about your customers. One thing I'm going to work on in transition, I'm not sure if I'm going to do it this month or next month. So I bought this prop money. So like there's 100s, there's 50s, there's 20s, there's 10s, 5s, 2s, and 1s. So this stuff looks really real, except for it says movie prop use only. Now, I had seen a video about, because I think if I had done this to Mary Alice, she probably wouldn't have waited a whole year. But every time that she orders, and now I'm only sending out Happy Mail one time a month. So all of my June got sent out this week. But going through and in their thank you mail is putting in, hey, did you know with the orders you bought the last 6 months, the last month, the last 3 months, whatever, the last year? Because if you've been in a year, due to year, give them money. Show them this would have been your commission. This is how much money you gave me in the last 6 months, the last year. I'm going to be trying to go back and look at it for the last 2 years. If you had signed up with me when I had started and all the things that you had purchased, now it's not going to be everything, but it's going to be pretty dang close, because I used to do a lot of bulk orders if they're local and they were not put under their name. So there's going to be some people I miss, but anybody who is definitely not local, I can go through and I can say, did you know in the last 2 years, you have earned the commission I earned off of you is XYZ. $45, $180, $390. I have one lady. Well, yeah, I have one lady that I believe I've earned over $1,000 commission off of her. And that's in 2 years. I mean, guys, I do 30,000 in sales every single year, or I have every single year. So I sell a lot. So there is $30,000 worth of items that I sold to somebody, and I got my commissions off of them every single month. For me, I'm just changing up or trying something different. The other thing that I'm going to work on is Rihanna Franco was one of the breakouts that I watched. She has a video of how little packets that you give to people and how she talks to people that she sees out. She creates 10 of these a week and she has to give them out to 10 people every week. Okay. They are, you impressed me is how she has it listed on her little QR thing. you impress me. And it tells them that you have impressed me today. Take some time to look over this. So she gives them a product sheet. She gives them a couple different flyers. They're in a small little bag. She has them in her purse. She gets them through the drive-through. And these people have to actually impress you. I talked about this last week, but I was really sick, so I honestly don't remember what I said last week. So I'm just going to say it all over again. It's a great way for somebody to be recognized that gives you great service. If there is someone, when you go through the drive-through and they're like, welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order, please? And you tell them what the order is and they repeat it back to you, it's correct. And they're like, okay, well, I'll see you at the first window, or please drive around. And then you interact with them and they are bubbly, they are happy. And guys, that used to be my job. I used to love drive-through. It was so much fun. Until I was at Whataburger and I said, welcome to McDonald's, can I take your order? And I was at Whataburger, and that was not a very good one. But those are the things that you need to, like, those are the people that you want. You want the ones that have great customer service. You want to start building a team of people who love people. I mean, I love people there, like over there. I don't like people in my bubble, but I love my customers online. I absolutely do, because I can interact with them, because I'm not good at the chit chat. I'm not good at the small talk. Guys, it was so bad at SFR for when I started to meet people, because I don't know the chit chat. But these people already know about Scentsy, so I don't have to worry about a complete stranger. I'm just all like, so where are you from? That was basically my talk for all of them. And then I would talk to my group, and then they would leave, because I'm like, I'm still swollen. I'm sitting out here. It was nice outside. And that's what I would do. I mean, like I was trying to practice on my small talk, and it's horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's absolutely horrible. But when you have something to talk about, so if they are showing you great service, it's a little pack that you can give them. And just what Mary Alice did is that when you give it to them, say, hey, you know what? You really impressed me. I would love to give you this little information pack. There is a little sample in there, or, there's some information about me and about Scentsy, and then ask them, can I get your information and check in with you the next couple of days? That will give you time to look through the packet and let me know what you think. That way you've gotten their information. They've gotten your information. There's only going to be 3 answers. Yes, no, I haven't looked at it yet. Like, they're going to tell you, yes, I looked at it. I love Scentsy. I hate Scentsy, whatever. Then they're going to say, no, I hadn't looked at it at all, and apparently don't plan to, or they're going to ghost you. And then 3 is like, I haven't looked at it yet. Hold on. So you already know that there's only going to be 3 answers that you are going to get. Like 3 answers, guys. That's it. So I will show the packets when I get mine done. I will share all the Canva stuff that I'll be including in it. That is what I'm going to be working on, because when this new catalog hits, like August, those are the things I'm going to do in August. So the August is the money I'm sending out to my customers for all the July orders. And I'm going to be creating these. So because Blake and I are working together now, Blake and I will probably split the 10 a week. So he'll get 5, or maybe I'll give him only 3. And then I'll take the other ones. And we have to have them gone by Saturday, from Sunday to Saturday. So that is our goal. So that means when we leave the house, we have to be intentional with who we talk to. And we actually have to have conversations while we're out. Like, that'll make me stop and talk to someone at the gas station whenever I have to get gas, because I'm like, oh, I got to get rid of this. But at the same time, it also makes you start looking for the people that you want to give the information. If someone is being rude and mean and cussing up a storm, and just like, you don't want to be around them, don't hand them stuff. Don't hand it this. I mean, don't put yourself in a situation where you don't even want to have a conversation with this person later. All right. Anybody else have anything? Any other questions? Anybody have any other suggestions of stuff that they're going to do this month for transition?
I will say something. So I told you I carry my bag around, right?
Yes.
Well, I went in there to hand some stuff out yesterday, and we are in Texas, guys.
Did you put wax in there?
Apparently I left a few samples in my bag, and look at them. Can you see this?
Yeah.
That used to be a butterfly.
Well, You just tell them that all they gotta do is fill the wax
smells
out.
great.
Yeah.
It smells great, and it makes all my paperwork in here smell really good, and my money all smells good. And that's one thing that, like every time I go to Melmore and I go check up on all my stuff, or I go just to print something out, every time I walk in there, the one thing that they both tell me is like, you always smell so good, and everything you give us always smells so good. And she's talking about my papers and my, when I'm getting copies made. And I was like, well, because it's in my bag where all my samples are. I was like, and I walk in here with a bag, my black and turquoise bag. I walk in with that all the time, and it has samples in it. But it is dead summer. It is hot right now, guys. We are in Texas. And so those samples are not going to be able to be hanging around with me in my truck anymore because they melt.
Mary Alice, maybe you need to talk about how you were able to explain to them what Melmore is, because some people are new, and how you, like, what do you do with them, for them, and how you got started on this relationship.
So Melmore is it is a mail service business. They mail things out. It's kind of like a UPS or a FedEx or anything like that, but they mail everything out through their store. They have expanded now. They're not just a mailing thing. They also do printing of like t-shirts, cups, keychains, and all of those things. So they're expanding. They do banners. They do all kinds of things now. So they've increased their customer base, which works really good for me. So when I first started this and I first decided to make it a business, I had a printer, and I have a brand new printer sitting right here, and I hooked it up and it worked one day, and then the next day it would not stay connected up to my laptop. I spent, what was it, Cassie, an hour, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, I don't know, forever long trying to get this thing to work. And then I decided.
And what did I tell you? I said, if it takes you longer than 20 minutes to do anything, guys, stop.
Stop.
And so seriously, walk away, because your frustration level will double, triple, and you will get so wore out. Because when Mary Alice called me, she was like, what? I don't know what to do.
I was pissed. And so I listened to Cassie, and I took all my stuff, dropped it onto a flash drive, and I ran up to Melmore. And like I said, they're just a small little hometown business. And so I went up there and I told them what was going on, and I showed them what I needed to do. I had all my paper. I had my cardstock paper. I had everything. All they needed to do was print it out for me. Guys, these people here, they are so incredible. One, they printed out everything for me that day, and they didn't charge me. She says, well, you brought us the paper. You did everything. All you're doing is, using our ink. She goes, Mary, don't worry about it. And then, we sat there talking, and I had told her what I was doing, why I was doing it, about staying home and taking care of my mom and working from home. She said, you know what? Why don't you set up a table here in our store? She goes, and you can promote yourself. She goes, you put your business cards out there. She says, and put your samples, whatever you want out there, and set up, your little table. She goes, we'll make an area for you. And I was like, that's great. That's awesome. And her husband, he said, well, we had a Scentsy person doing it. And he goes, but she hasn't shown up in the last 6 months. So he goes, apparently she's not hungry anymore. He said, so he goes, I'm not going to, how did he say? I'm not going to rule out anyone. He goes, especially if you have somebody who is hungry and trying to increase their business, and you have somebody who's just not wanting to do anything anymore. So he let me start putting my stuff up there, or they let me. It's a husband and wife team. I set up a table. I change. I receive the warmer of the month every month, except for this last month. I receive the warmer of the month every month. So every month I go in and I set up my warmer of the month there at their store. And I put in the waxes that are our scent of the month. I leave them 2 or 3 wax clams there so that they can change them out when they don't smell. I go in there at least every other day and check on them, see if there's anything. I set out flyers, the product sheets with my business card and a QR code to get them to my VIP page. I have set up, I do a whole decoration type thing there because I like decorating up. So my table is like all set up for the holiday themes. When we did the holidays, the fall and winter things last year, this past year that we did Jack and Jack Skellington, and we did all of those buddies, and we didn't have them yet. So I put pictures in a frame and set them up on the walls and said across the top of it, coming soon. And I actually had orders from those pictures showing, that what was coming. So I try to go in every month and change up the table, set up new, everything that's coming out new, set it up there, make sure my flyers are up there, make sure my warmers up there, new scents, new smells, everything. And they let me set everything. Like I said, they let me do what I want. They're like, here, this is your spot, do whatever you want. And if I want to, I can also go in and set up on a weekend or just for a single day and actually set up product to sell. I haven't done that yet because I've had so much going on, and usually about the time I have time, I have an event coming up, so I don't have time. But so they have also given me permission to set up to sell things as if I was at an event, if I want to. But you build a relationship with small, especially like this is a small town, and you build a relationship up with these businesses that are also small businesses, and you trade off. Like I will recommend them to anybody and everybody in this area. If they need anything printed, they need anything shipped, if they offer it in the business, I always make sure to tell them about Melmore. I have them on my Bay City chat, which is my town. Anytime I see people asking for recommendations, I'll make sure to go out there and throw their name out there. So I promote them just as much as they promote me. So it's kind of a tit for tat. So it's when you're in small towns like this, especially, it works really good. But even in larger cities or towns, if you build a relationship with these companies, these small businesses or larger businesses, and you build a relationship with them, they will do for you if you do for them. It's a tit for tat type thing. Like back in the days when they used to do the bartering, which you're seeing that come back a lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
Well, and that's another thing is that if you have months that are slow, or you have months that you're just like, why are my sales down? Those months are the months that you need to start thinking about things like this. I mean, Mary Alice had an issue and she was able to solve it, but then she ended up creating a relationship with people that were willing to help her. Small businesses that are not corporate, because if you go to something like an Office Depot or Office Supply, those are chains, and the problem is that you have to get something approved through corporate to leave out, unless they have one of the boards that you can leave your business card. And I'll tell you what, I've left business cards at so many different places like that, and it doesn't work. But if you can find a small business, some mom and pop or a family owned business, and ask them and see if there's something you can solve for them. They had a Scentsy person, they didn't have them anymore, they'd stopped showing up. And the events on Mary Alice, the months that you don't have events, as long as it's 45 days from each time that you set up, you could use that as your off months of when you don't have stuff going on.
Yeah.
If you find the time, because you do, at least it's inside. I mean, hello to inside AC. Anybody who's done events knows how hot it gets.
So another place that I also set up at is it's an insurance company. Now it's a what's it called? Oh my God, I can't think of the name. It's Progressive. Isn't that the one with Flo?
Yes.
And Jamie? Okay.
Yes.
So a progressive in Pasadena. So this is one that I didn't even work with because I deal with Geico. And my Geico company is actually out of state because I deal with them over the phone. I don't have a local place. But Chad deals with Progressive in Pasadena, and he actually goes to their location. So there's like 4 or 5 women in that building. And of course, Chad being Chad, he of course hands my information out to everybody. And they had a diffuser sitting on one of their tables as soon as you walk in. So Chad being Chad told them they've got the wrong diffuser. And that is the ugliest diffuser he's ever seen. And he's going to bring one that's 10 times better. So he brought over Stargaze and he brought his. Of course, he has 2. He brought his up there and he said, look, I'm going to bring this here for you to set up and you can display it and you can use it and you can use the oils and smell it and see how much better this is. And he took the other one down and took it to the back and told them they needed to put this in a back office somewhere because it didn't deserve to be up front. And this is what I'm telling you about, where he does things that I would never walk into a place
and tell them their stuff looks horrible.
No.
Well, it's stepping outside that comfort zone. And if
Yes.
it makes your stomach turn, guys, that is the moment that you need to take a breath, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it. You only need 20 seconds of courage to do anything in life. Anything. 20 seconds of courage, because that it can change your life. And that's
Or it'll kill you.
Or you what?
I said, or it'll kill you.
Okay. Well, let's not throw that out there, but I guess, yes, if you're going to do something crazy. But these are just different tips of things that you can do while it's slow. Now, what is slow? Slow is going to be depending on what you feel your business is doing. If you are trying to work up towards higher PRV, you definitely need customer service and follow-up system. Okay. If you are working on building up a team, you need to start talking to your major customers, the customers that are purchasing from you every month or every other month or large amounts every 3 months.
Talking to people, period, is a big deal. Like,
yes.
just talk to them. Like, that was one of my biggest things when I started, is that I didn't want to people.
Yeah, I don't like to people either, but yes.
And just, I've really grown accustomed to making sure that I'm talking to somebody every day. You know, I realize that.
Okay. Talking to somebody every day. If you, like I said, you don't have to do 30 or 40 different people every day. You can have conversations with 1 or 2. If 5 scares you, then start with 4. Like, find a good number for you and reach out and have a legitimate conversation. Hey, how are you doing? I saw on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever that your dog did this, or your children did this, or your husband or spouse or significant other. Congratulations, happy birthday, happy anniversary. Guys, there's ways to start conversations with so many different people that are not in your VIP group. And it just takes a moment. Like, it takes 20 seconds of courage to change your life. So with that being said, Alicia, did you want to finish?
Oh, so when I first started, I didn't want to talk to anybody at all. And I've really gotten good at it. A month or so ago, 2 months maybe, I actually ended up having a very strange but amazing conversation with a lady in a QT bathroom. And ever since then, I knew that if I could do it in a bathroom, I can do it at any point. So,
hey, women in bathrooms, I will tell you this, guys. If you are in a women's bathroom and you are having to do your business, make sure that you have a Scentsy room spray, because I'll tell you what, if you're
that's
not
how
just
it all started.
Yes, if you're not using it for poopery, you can use it because the bathroom stinks. And they're going to ask you, what was that? It's a start. They're asking you. Now you don't even have to start the conversation, but something. If you are going out to eat a lot, guys, take some hand lotion. Every time you go to the bathroom, you wash your hands. They don't have lotion in there. You go back to your table, you put the lotion on. It smells amazing. There's things that you can use on a daily basis. So I can't say everybody goes out to eat all the time. I can't say everybody goes to the QT bathroom all the time. But you do leave your house for some reason. Maybe it's the grocery store. Maybe it's going to the post office. Maybe it's going to the bank. Find a way to have conversations somehow, and that will build your customer base. That will also build up your relationship to ask them to join your team, to offer them the opportunity. Don't doubt yourself, guys. You've made the choice to show up tonight. You've made the choice to grow your business because you're doing trainings. You are making a choice right now because you could be doing a million other things, and you joined us tonight on Work It Wednesday. So I'm going to end it with that. Thank you guys so much for showing up. I love that the 5150 streaming page has everybody messaging and talking on there. I will go ahead and stop streaming, but if you want the Zoom link, tag me in the 5150. I will open up the Zoom for you guys to hop on so we can just chit chat for a little bit. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed night, and stay tuned for next week.